2025, we can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. So at the end of the day, everybody showed us they can do it from scratch. So we can't be waiting on nobody to give us nothing. Everybody just gotta do it. No matter where you come from. You gotta do it from scratch. I ain't had shit and look at me now. So if I could have did it, you could have did it now.
Now I want y'all to think about something. This is a guy who has admitted that he was a drug dealer. And I'm just going to be honest with you. If the way that you got on was being a drug dealer, then you destroyed your community to get on. Like, you don't really have the right to look at anyone. You should be apologizing to the black folks whose lives you destroyed by just contributing to the destruction of your own community. That's what you should be doing.
I had a mentor tell me once, 1 is too close to none and 2 is too close to 1. But he said 3 and you dead free. Ladies, let's walk.
All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Doc B. All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Book of AlphaRonomy, a.k.a. Doc BOA. Yep, I got time today. A lot of these rappers are dumb. And I don't mean dumb because they don't know what they know. I mean dumb because they always talking about things they don't know about. And one guy who has done a lot of that recently is Slim Thug. And honestly, I mean, the guy has a reputation for being one hell of a hustler. And, you know, I mean, as far as rap goes, he's had some joints. I mean, his first joint, almost platinum. There's a couple of joints out there that are in my playlist. Right. Matter of fact, there's 3 songs of already platinum, rather. There's 3 songs of already platinum that are in my playlist right now. You know what I mean? And they stay on rotation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking anything from him as an artist either, but he is the only one of those big 3 guys from Texas who didn't go platinum. Ironically, he was the one with the album called Already Platinum, didn't go platinum for whatever reason. But now that he's speaking on other things, man, this guy says a bunch of bonehead shit, man. I'm not going to even lie to you. So I say this as not a diss to Slim Thug. I don't know him, but I will say this: the foolery that comes out of his mouth does not represent us as black men. He's representing himself. I don't even know if he represents his own crew with this shit he be saying, but he don't represent us as black men. I represent us as black men. So let's take a listen to this clip, man, where he's going to talk about how black folks should stop blaming the system and all of that because he made it out. And we're going to break this thing down and we're going to tear it down in some ways because he's another guy like Steven Jackson who wants to look down at people who haven't done what he's done. But let's look at some of the things he's done and let's take away all of the wicked shit he's done and see if he would be who he is today without those things. But you know what? First, let's listen to him in another clip talking this foolishness about Megan Thee Stallion.
2025, we can't blame white folks no more. We gotta let that go, kid. Them people, that wasn't even these people. That was some people before them. So at the end of the day, everybody showed us they can do it from scratch. So we can't be waiting on nobody to give us nothing. Everybody just gotta do it. No matter where you come from. You gotta do it from scratch. I ain't had shit and look at me now. So if I could have did it, you could have did it now.
Now I want y'all to think about something. This is a guy who has admitted that he was a drug dealer. And I'm just going to be honest with you. If the way that you got on was being a drug dealer, then you destroyed your community to get on. Like, you don't really have the right to look at anyone. You should be apologizing to the black folks whose lives you destroyed by just contributing to the destruction of your own community. That's what you should be doing. You're defending the system because you're a part of the system. You know what I'm saying? If you were a drug dealer, and I won't even say to a certain point, because even down to the guys who were actually serving the J's, who were actually serving the fiends, those guys were actually the ones who were putting the destruction into the hands of the mothers and fathers and all of those things. And we can say the strong feed off the weak and all that, but in the black community, everybody's weak. Some of us are just grittier than others. So when you come from that perspective and you've admitted over the years that how much destruction you've done to your own community when you were in the streets getting money like that, you don't have the right to look at people and say, well, you can't blame white folks. And it's not blaming the folks, it's blaming the system. So when you talk about these things, say, well, you can't blame these people weren't even there. Dude, we're talking about the system. There's a system of oppression. There's a system in place. Okay, so just because you made it, it's funny that you can be from a city like Houston and say, well, if I can do it, how many niggas you know didn't do it? How many people you know died along the way? How many people you know were doing the same thing you did, end up going to prison? How many times you know people who did it to the point where they lost so much it just burnt them out? How many people lost loved ones? You know, it's crazy that you have this guy who admits to living this life, and then he turns around, looks at black folks and says, you know, well, now it's time out for that, kid. You know, we got to stop blaming that, blaming this. Man, if you're in the hood right now, if generationally you're in the hood, for 5 generations you've been in the hood, man, you can't just look and say, if you can do it, everybody can do it. Well, that means everybody who came up with you did it, right? Everybody you know when you were growing up did it, right? No, everybody didn't do it. Man, get out of here with all that violence around. So you telling me a kid who live in the hood who got hit by a drive-by, a random bullet from a drive-by, you mean tell me that kid could have made it? You mean tell me parents of those kids who lost a little baby or who lost a toddler to some senseless, you know, a random act of violence that was directed at someone else, you mean tell me they don't have the right to crash out? They don't have the right to not want to do anything? They don't have the right to, man, you sound crazy right here, dog. And this is what happened when niggas who rap get off the mic and then they still want to talk. Bro, you don't need to talk in front of the mic. You need to rap in front of the mic. Because I'm going to be honest with you. When every time you talk about something meaningful, you're an embarrassment. Every time. And it don't make any sense. Because you ain't no young head. Man, you're an OG. And you out here talking this foolishness, man. But it's because you're not plugged in. You've been plugged out for so long. Ever since you were selling poison in your own community, you've been plugged out of the struggle. Once you can look at the struggle and capitalize on it, then you're the same as a slave owner. That's what you are. You have the mindset of a slave owner. Well, what more do you need? We gave you room and we gave you shelter and we let you eat the entrails of the pigs and the cows when with whatever part we didn't eat. So we gave you the brains, we gave you the entrails, we gave you the feet, and we gave you the ears. Now, what more do you want? There's plenty of food for you to eat now. We fed you, we clothed you, we housed you. I mean, the clothing wasn't that good and the housing wasn't that good, but at least you didn't sleep outside in the cotton fields. That's how you sound, bruh. Honestly, when you hear this man talk like this, he's no different from Myron Gaines putting on a Klan hood. He's the same thing. And it makes no sense for this man right here, this black man who's from the inner city in Houston, to be talking like this to people who are out here still facing a struggle during a time where things are even harder for people. This guy, he's so out of touch. When you're out of touch with black folks who are living on a certain level, man, keep your nose out of this. Keep your mouth out of this. Don't talk on this.
We got to stop making excuses. Stop waiting on motherfuckers. We got to take advantage of this shit. We got to be happy on purpose, doing shit that make us happy.
And you know, part of the problem is you're talking from a perspective of where you are now, but you're not remembering how you first got to a point. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, this mentality, when you think about it, and this ain't wishing nothing bad on the brother, and then or even talking about, you know, what happened in the past, but out of Mike Jones, Paul Wall, and Slim Thug, he the only one that didn't go platinum. The only one. He was the only one whose album got leaked. The only one. And I just want y'all to understand something. There's a mentality that you have to have. When you look around at the South, let's look at rap since he's a rapper. When you look around at the South, how many people did it? Jay Prince did it. Master P did it. Tony Draper did it. Suave House. Luther Campbell did it. Skywalker Records. Luke Records now. Who else did it in the South? That's about it. Those are the only people who did it to that level in the South. That's it. Birdman, okay. Brian and Ronald, Cash Money, they did it. That's it, bro. So when it comes to even music, even you, with all this talk, you still had to sign to a label. So let's not try all this boss talk and all this talk about you just got to go out and get it. You just got to capitalize on it. Boy, times are harder than ever for everybody. It's easy to say what you be doing right now, but the time you came up, bro, the time I came up, man, that's a long time ago. You know, we talking 20, 25 years ago. Bro, that's a long time ago. Maybe even longer. We're talking about a long time ago. Things were much cheaper. The game was much different. The internet was not here with all this outside influence and all this outside noise and all of that. It's totally different for people now, bro. And so for you to sit and act like people should do what you did back then, what I did back then, what those of us did back then, it's crazy now. Like, even right now as a rapper, bro, you wouldn't make no money like you did. You came up during a time where they were selling CDs. CD, what, $17 to $20 a pop? So when people were doing 10 million records, they were selling 10 million CDs. $17 a pop, we talking about 170 million out the door. gross profit off of 10 million CDs. Boy, that don't even happen no more. Nobody even sells CDs no more. Nobody's even selling 1 million anymore. So to look at it, man, and be talking front man dude is just out of touch. You know what I'm saying? This is the difference between an OG and an old nigga. And unfortunately, Slim Thug, he's transitioned from OG to old nigga. He's just an old nigga right now.